Good morning from Liverpool. In this video I want to take a walk across Liverpool and see some of its sights and tourist attractions and historical places, architecture and whatever else I come across. I'm actually from Liverpool, just not this one. I'm from Liverpool in the outer western suburbs of Sydney, so this is my second Liverpool. And I'm beginning my walk down in the docks area because this really is where modern Liverpool began. And just behind me there is the River Mersey. And Mersey means, I believe, in Old English, boundary. It was the historic boundary between Cheshire and Lancashire. Just in the back of the statues here of the Beatles, I can see that the sculptor has taken a little bit of artistic license, because on George's belt he's had written, I don't know what the language is, it's something in... This sculpture is based on a photograph probably from 1963. George wasn't into the Eastern mysticism and Hare Krishna and meditation and all that, but the artist has actually put lettering on there that would reflect George's later passions into religion and mysticism. That's a really nice touch. Something I've just noticed here down at the Mersey is that there are no bridges connecting Liverpool to Birkenhead across the water there. I believe there's a tunnel underneath the river, and maybe a couple. I think one of them's quite old. The Victorians were big on building everything they could, and yet they never built a bridge over the Mersey. These here apparently are the oldest docks in Liverpool. They date from the 1750s and were refurbished in about, when was it? They were deepened in 1829, but since then they've remained unaltered. Here and others that slave ships were sent out onto the transatlantic run as part of the slave trade. Just a personal observation down here at the old docks. It really is kind of run down. It's, considering Liverpool's incredible maritime history and history with trade and commerce, there's so much that could be done to redevelop this area, and it's very neglected. Maybe there are plans afoot to do something with it, and I'm not complaining. It's fascinating. It's just, considering where we are in the world, what's the plan for this place? I wonder how much they rent that room out for a week.
Down the bus. In there.
We should be stopping at Woodside on the river. Was also designed by... This is one of the huge staircases on. And world records were coming in.
plaque just around here I'm looking for. This is the Victoria Monument. It was, I think it was put up the year after she died. And there's, here it is. On this site formerly stood the Castle of Liverpool. This is one of the highest points in Liverpool, so it makes sense that the castle was up here. It dates from the early 13th century, and the last of it was pulled down in the, I think it was the mid to late 18th century. Absolutely nothing left of it now, but this is where it used to be. And just looking across the road there is a hint of the castle that once existed here. There's a building there that's called Castle Moat House. So, obviously, the moat would have been just around that side there. It's a shame it's in such poor condition now. When this was put up, it would have been one of the many prides of Liverpool, and now it's just left to graffiti. And on the side of Liverpool Castle today, or just very, very near it, is the Queen Elizabeth II Law Courts. Now, this was designed with the castle in mind. In a way, it was designed to hint at what used to be here, and that was a medieval castle. And I'm wondering about the wisdom of doing that, because, I mean, I've never had to go to court for anything, but I can't imagine it's a fun experience. And the last thing you want to do when you go to court is go into a building that looks like an imposing castle. Oh, and one other indication that there was a castle just here. I'm on Castle Street. Kind of gives it away. The North and South Wales Bank. Why not just call it the Wales Bank? I wonder what happened to East and West. They weren't invited. And that's the Town Hall building. Beautiful, beautiful building. That's what a town hall should look like. Although the one in Brisbane's really good. City Hall. Why is this Town Hall then? Rubber Soul Beatles bar. What's this? Just coming up here a little bit, right here, and a lot of people pass it by. They don't really know it's here. This is the original entrance to the Cavern Club. This is it here. This is where you would have lined up to see the Beatles and other acts. It's rather understated, really, isn't it? Yeah. Priscilla Black. Originally Priscilla White. She worked in the Cavern in the cloakroom. Just walking along Mathew Street here, it's the ground is really sticky. If the Earth suddenly lost gravity, I would stay connected to this street. Thanks very much. Well, this is a cool find. I'm in St Luke's bombed out cathedral and I've turned up on a wine tasting day. So, cheers to Liverpool. On Bordeaux wines. And there's going to be a display going on. There's a talk up there. How lucky is that?
So I've been a pastry chef and a chocolatier for 22 years. I've worked in London for all of my career. So coming to the hospitality industry, because hospitality is really tough. Go above those temperatures, you won't have the shine or the beautiful tempered.
But around it's possible to produce also white, rosé and sparkling, and I produce all.
Okay.
Okay.
Being in Liverpool for a couple of days now, I've realised just how strong the Liverpool accent is here, and what I mean by that is that I've been down in Dorchester and Swanage and like even up in Norwich, and you do hear the local accents, but it seems like they're maybe in some way dying out. Like a lot of people in Dorchester, and this is just my observation, is a lot of people in Dorchester kind of sound like they're from London. Whereas up here in Liverpool, everyone sounds like they're from Liverpool. Everybody here in Liverpool is a comedian. Everyone's got a line. Everyone's got like a put down. And I think it's wonderful. I feel so much at home here. I've made it here to Liverpool Cathedral. This is an Anglican cathedral, and it was begun in the early 20th century, and I believe it was finished only in the 1970s. What about mine? Really had no idea there was a Chinatown in Liverpool. And I think this is it. See, yep, there's a Chinatown here. St John's Tower. There's a really amazing observation deck up there, and I'm going to go up and take a look. It's £5 to get in. I think that's a bargain. So apparently it takes 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my god.
400 feet or 138 meters, whatever sounds taller to you guys.
That's incredible.
Hey guys, here we are. So let's go straight down the end there for me.
initially comprising a covered floor and an open-air viewing gallery.
It's one place that needs no introduction. The whole thing's been developed in there. It's now a cafe and shop, and it's something to do with adult education, special needs people. Sounds like they do terrific work there. It's still Salvation Army, but the old building that John knew is long gone. Apparently you can buy bricks from the old building in the gift shop. So yeah, the whole area I think has been landscaped, and it's all very, very different, but this is all still basically the same gate and everything. John's childhood home is just around the corner. I'm not really into where the stars lived or anything like that. Visiting Strawberry Field is great because it's about, you know, it's a place. It's written about, we all know it, but it's just seeing someone's house, I mean, who cares? I'll go and have a look anyway, but I'm not going to make a fuss about it. Long time he lived there, right on the cusp of Beatlemania. And what I found about this area of Liverpool is it's really nice here. I know Liverpool, you know, has that reputation of working class and industry and all that sort of thing. And I know there's some derelict areas in the city, but up here, this is really nice. John came from quite a fancy part of Liverpool. I mean, the trees just here are gorgeous. This here apparently is St George's Hall, right in the centre of Liverpool. Beautiful building, absolutely massive, but I gotta say the surrounding area looks kind of, well, a bit neglected. Up here is nice, it's quite clean for the most part, but down on the stairs and in the big plaza areas down there, it's all sort of overgrown and there's rubbish and it's just grimy. Is this building due for a bit of a scrub? Has it always been like this, or is it, I know there's roadworks out there, maybe they're just going to give the whole thing a big clean once the roadworks are done.